Hi, everybody. It's Beth, and I am already saying way too much. As you know, if you were planning to come out and see me in Seymour, Indiana, Verona, Kentucky, or Hebron, Kentucky this weekend, you probably already know that I was not able to make it after all. Earlier this week, I came down with a case of cellulitis in my leg. Not to be confused with cellulite. I've had that for years, and it's not really a pressing issue at this point. But this was kind of a serious infection, considering some of my other health conditions that I am dealing with as far as my treatments that I take. So my doctor said I wasn't allowed to travel until Sunday at the earliest. So, unfortunately, I didn't get to make it to see so many of you that I really wanted to come and see tonight, which is Friday in Indiana, and tomorrow in Kentucky. So, while I was thinking about how depressed I was to have to cancel, because I very, very rarely cancel on any of my events, I wanted to try to think of a way to make it up to you guys that were planning to come and see me, because I know it's going to be a while before we're going to be able to reschedule for me to be able to come back and talk with you all. So I thought I might do my speech online instead. I don't know what you think about that, but that's what we're going to try to do. And it may be a miserable failure. So, I had 4 different speeches I was going to do, and so what I decided to do, I just thought I would pick my favorite, the one that I was most excited to talk about, and we'll start from there. So, thanks for tuning in tonight, and again, if you were, hoping to see me this weekend, I'm really sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I so wanted to come and visit with y'all in Kentucky and in southern Indiana. So hopefully, though, soon I'll get to come and visit. In the meantime, here's a little something to keep you entertained, I guess. All right. So I've been thinking a lot about love lately. Not really the romantic kind or even the unrequited kind. More like love of the God variety, or at the very least, the amazing and redemptive power of love. The other day, I wrote a blog on my website, www.bethstauffer.com, that featured the amazing love of a woman named Heather Town. Heather was a mother from Venus, Florida, and her story is a truly amazing one. If you haven't heard her story, I would encourage you to go to my website and read about Heather under the posting Voracious Love. Now today I want to talk to you about a different mother, a fictional mother, and her name is Fantine from the novel Les Mis by Victor Hugo. Now, as you all know, I'm a freakishly avid reader, and when I was in the 7th grade, don't tell my mom, this is just between us, I feigned a mortal illness that lasted approximately a week so that I could stay home from school and read Lucy Maud Montgomery's entire Anne of Green Gables series, which was 8 books in all. Miraculously, after I finished the last chapter of Rilla of Ingleside, I was healed. One might have thought, after I pulled the similar stunt with my Laura Ingalls Wilder Little House on the Prairie books in the 5th grade, I think there were 9 books in all in that, you would have thought my mom would have caught on, but luckily for me, she didn't. This is why, when I was in the AP English way back in the day, when everyone else in my class was complaining about having to read Les Mis, I was secretly delighted. We had to read one of the longest books ever, over 1,488 pages, and more than 530,982 delicious words translated to English from French? Yes, please. The book was heaven in the form of a paperback to me. I inhaled Les Mis with my mind like my lungs would breathe in the fresh, salty air on a day walking beside the ocean, deeply, completely, and totally. Hugo's poignant writing about the transformative power of love and compassion and forgiveness made a lasting impression on me. Now, there are many, many things about Les Mis that stand out in my mind as I reflect on the story. But the one character that I have been thinking about a lot lately is Fantine. The part, however, that always gets me about Fantine, though, don't laugh, but it's that she sold her 2 front teeth for her daughter out of love. Now, I love my son Alex a lot, so much so that I think I would even die for him. Yet even with this being said, I think I might have to draw the line at selling my front 2 teeth for him. This made me think, do I not really love my own child as much as I should? How do I really define what love is anyway? Well, those questions lingered in my mind for several days, haunting me and causing me to question a great many things. During this time, I posted a story on my blog, Spin, called, God, Where Are You in All of This? About the Aurora shootings and other tragedies that take place relentlessly all over the world, day in and day out. To summarize, my conclusion to the where are you, God question is, wherever there is love, there is God also. It didn't occur to me until the day after posting that story. I never addressed what it really means to show love for another. My thoughts returned to Fantine, and I knew that I needed to figure out a way to explain what love is that doesn't involve selling teeth. To be honest, I'm very saddened by the knowledge that so many people are confused about what love even is to begin with. This modern world that we live in has taken the very heart of love and twisted it into something that it was never intended to be. Love isn't an intangible feeling that someone else gives to us. It isn't found in expecting all of our needs to be continually met day after day. Actually, love has nothing to do with ourselves at all. Perhaps what it all boils down to is the fact that we have stopped using the word love as an active, living noun, the way it was tended to be used by the one true love. And instead, we've started living like it's simply a verb. Let me try to explain what I mean using a few biblical references. In 1 John 4:7, John writes, Beloved, let us love one another, for love is from God. We are only able to fulfill our call to be the verb in this verse because love first comes from the noun of all nouns, God the Father. Now, another, perhaps less deep and more simplistic way to look at love as a noun is found in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 7. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Now, because love is used as a noun in this verse, we can do a really neat little trick that I learned many years ago from my youth group leader, way back in the day when I was a youth. Take 1 Corinthians 13, verses 4 through 7, and substitute the holy name of Jesus for love and he for it, each time it is used in the verse. The revised version of 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 7 will sound like this. Jesus is patient and kind. Jesus does not envy or boast. He is not arrogant or rude. He does not insist on its own way. He is not irritable or resentful. He does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Jesus bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. I'm thinking that paints an entirely accurate and truthful picture of what love is. God is love. Now, are you ready to have your minds truly blown? Once again, because love is a noun in this verse, we can take 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 and 7, and substitute our own names for love each time it is used in the verse. For simplicity's sake, we'll just use my name Beth for the demonstrative purposes. Beth is patient and kind. Beth does not envy or boast. She is not arrogant or rude. She does not insist on her own way. She is not irritable or resentful. She does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Beth bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. I have to admit, I cringed several times on the inside while I was reading my own name in that verse. Let's just say I have a lot of room for improvement when it comes to living my life as a noun for God's glory. As I see it, in order to be loved in this world, I'm not going to have to sell my front 2 teeth or worse. Granted, selling my front 2 teeth for money would probably be a lot easier on some days than it will be for me to not be irritable or rude. Yet, the example of what love really is remains before me. I challenge you, along with myself, to live your life as a noun for God. Be patient and kind. Rejoice in all truth. Bear all things. Believe all things. Hope in all things. Endure all things. God is love, and so are you.